Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Economy 2020 Research Paper Presentation Webinar organized by Casper. We have with us our presenter Pooja Kapoor from IIT Roorkee, our panel members Ms. Saheli Bose, Senior Researcher at UGC NET, and Ms. Ankita Garg from Ascension Center for Research and Analytics. Please introduce yourself and start with the topic.
So my PPT is visible?
Yeah, your PPT is visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the esteemed judges, organizers, and everyone present in the PPT in the presentation this session. So my name is Pooja Kapoor, and I am associated with Department of Management Studies, IIT Roorkee. So today I'm presenting my paper in the competition Economy 2020, and the paper name is COVID-19 and its likely impact on the Indian economy vis-a-vis inflation, inflation expectations, and future scenario. So let's start. So the contents are introduction, literature review, followed by analysis of COVID-19 and headline inflation, and analysis of COVID-19 and inflation expectations, future economic costs and ways to revive reference, and lastly the references. So the outbreak of the novel coronavirus disease, commonly known as COVID-19, was registered in the Wuhan city of China, and the world started learning about it from December 2019. India witnessed its first case of coronavirus on 30th January 2020. After that, the Honorable Prime Minister of India announced a 3-week countrywide lockdown from midnight 24th March 2020. Now it is an infectious disease believed to have originated from mammals. And amidst the coronavirus situation, this lockdown was an absolute necessity in order to save the lives of many. As per India's COVID-19 dashboard, as on today itself, active cases are 97,581, with 95,000 and approximately 95 to this 526 cases has been cured, and the total number of reported deaths are more than 5,000. So with lockdown persisting in the nation and spread of COVID-19 is on the air, besides its effect on the public health, it is coupled with the economic costs too. So the economy is bound to suffer directly through the supply and demand shock. This could lead a possible situation of ambiguity in terms of period of recession. So in the light of the above situation, this study attempts to find out the likely impact of this crisis on the Indian economy with regards to inflation and inflation expectations. Why inflation expectations? Because it is the very important factor in making monetary policy decisions in our country. So before going forward, it is important to understand the terms which have been used here repetitively. So the first one is inflation, which is defined as a continuous rise in the general price level, and it is measured as a percentage change in the price level. Now the expected inflation, according to Pluck and Sticks, expected inflation is the estimates of price developments in a certain period of time, which usually covers the 12 upcoming months. So basically, expected inflation is what a person expects the price to be in the coming future. And perceived inflation is what a person perceived prices now as compared to the previous period. According to Pluck and Stuff, it is also influenced by several factors like general psychological phenomena or special circumstances, as in the case of euro cash changeover. Now let us understand it with the help of an hypothetical example. Suppose now the media indicated on news that there would be a high inflation on non-durable products. Since the demand for non-durable products in this time of lockdown is increasing, so media indicates this kind of a news. So what happens, there is a discussion among the society or the peers that the inflation would be on rise. So the final general inflation perceived or expected in a common man's head is as large or as high as 16%. So some of me think that let me buy durables also before they get expensive. Since in their mind there is a kind of thing that inflation is going to rise. Not only on non-durables but also on durables. But other will think that let me postpone my durable purchases till inflation settles to a lower rate. However, the actual inflation was only 9%. So this is how the inflation expectations and perceptions form their places in the mind of a common people. Now, in India, expected and perceived inflation are measured by the qualitative surveys conducted by the RBI, namely CCS, that is Consumer Confidence Survey, and Inflation Expectation Surveys of Household, IESH. The RBI conducts these surveys in 18 major cities, covering approximately 6,000 households, include respondents such as financial sector employees, self-employed, unemployed, housewives, retired person, other employees, and daily workers. So these surveys are a vast volume in themselves, and the reports gets published on RBI website on quarterly basis, where descriptive statistics of these surveys are presented. Now, apart from these, professional forecaster surveys and manufacturing firm surveys are also collected by RBI on quarterly basis. So this is a summary of literature review, the main things, that the broad area, authors and main findings. So authors like McGuigan, Fernando, Levin and McGuigan, Ferrano and Wolf, Ren Lewis, they said that the estimation, they were estimating that there would be a shrinking of global GDP by $500 million with suppressed global demand. And this suggests to increase the government investment, particularly in the healthcare facilities. Now, when it comes to inflation expectations, perceptions, and consumer spending, yeah. So, when it comes to inflation expectations, perception, and consumer spending, these are some of the authors which described that inflation expectations and perceptions had a strong impact on consumer spending. Importance of qualitative surveys like CCS and IESH that we have discussed in the previous slide. Now, RBI reports on CCS and IESH, the recent reports of March 2020 and April 2020, found that households and professional forecasters expected a decline in future inflation as opposed to the manufacturing firms. This is the literature review. Okay, the hyperlink is not working. So the broad literature review is in the paper. Now coming to the analysis of COVID-19 and headline inflation, prior to COVID-19 case in India, that is prior to 30th January 2020, the monthly inflation for Q3 2019-20, that is October, November and December, based on the CPI inflation data published, is calculated as 0.96, 0.95 and 1.20. However, when you see after India witnessed its first case of COVID-19, monthly inflation for the period Q4 2019-20, that is January, February and March 2020, the inflation rates was like these: minus 0.13, minus 0.73 and minus 0.27. However, average quarterly inflation rate for the period Q3 and Q4 was at only 0.40%. So as we can see from the tables, from these two tables, the fall of the price has already hit the economy amidst the COVID-19. Now let us see the impact of this actual inflation on inflation expectations, because actual inflation also play a major role in forming the inflation expectations. So as I stated earlier, that how these expectations and perceptions are collected through RBI through their surveys, they are likely to influence the price and wage settings in the economy. That is why they are so important. So these surveys, the result of these surveys which I have stated in this PPT, they are taken from 27th Feb to 7th of March 2020. So as per the latest report, households were expecting a decline in future inflation both for 3 months and 1 year ahead. Another report showed that professional forecasters also expected a decline in consumer price index for consecutively till fourth quarter of 2020-21. However, manufacturing firms reports show that they expect an increase in selling prices as well as cost of the raw material prices, with their pricing power remaining weak. Now let us look at these surveys consecutively. So these surveys were taken from Feb till March. The households and the professionals were already aware of the monthly increasing inflation rates during the period Q3 2019-20. We can see from here, they are already aware about the increasing inflation rates in this period. and even then they predicted a decline in the level for Q1 2020-21. This may be owing to the fact of the widespread infectious disease of COVID-19 around the world. And India had actually witnessed its first case of COVID-19 in January. So they were aware that this kind of infectious disease is already present in our country. So that is why they predicted a decline in the price. Also, the actual inflation rate in this month was negative. As we can see from here, the actual inflation rate from this one, Q4 also was there, the negative, owing to the factors apart from COVID-19 like the prices of crude oil. This reflected the forward-looking behavior of the individuals and the households who were expecting a situation of maybe a short-run recession in the near future. Per contra, if we look at the service result of the quarter October to December 2019, the households were expecting an increase in the price level for both the 3 months and 1 year ahead. This could be owing to the situation when there is no fear in the minds of individuals about this deadly disease. This again shows that how individuals and households and professional forecasters, how they are forward-looking individuals and how they immediately change their responses from an increase and decline to the from an increase in the inflation expectations to the decline of the inflation expectations in the upcoming quarters. Overall, the inflation expectation of households are moderated in India. Now, with this coronavirus situation and the lockdown, they are coupled with the economic cost. And there are some plausible future situations which I did the analysis of. One is the demand and supply situation, and the other is the situation of government. Now, what could be the situations? Demand and supply situation. There could be three situations in this. Situation one, when consumers will try not to exhaust their savings and investment on non-essential goods or discretionary goods. It's pretty obvious that they will not try to buy a new house or buying a new car in this time of the period. This will lead to a decline in demand and hence in the prices, coupled with the lack of supply of money and credit in the economy. So this situation, if accelerated, will lead to a plausible situation of deflationary pressure in the economy. Situation number two, the supply would be more than the demand since there are job losses, there are income losses. This may mean a decline in the demand and hence a decline in the prices given the supply. Industries are closed down, but at the same time, sale of non-essential items are also banned, which means that their stocks are piling up. After the lockdown, if sufficient demand does not surface, prices of these goods also need to be revised downward. The third and the last situation will be where suppliers would not be able to pay for the raw materials and wages, provided that the fixed cost remains the same and hence the supply will shrink. This could, however, possibly offset the deflationary pressure in the economy, which we have discussed in the above two situations. Government situation. Now, this is the time when the economy cannot be revived without the thorough effort of government. Thorough efforts of government would be very necessarily in order to establish the aggregate demand back in the society. So the government would offset the situation of low demand by increasing its investment and government expenditure in the economy. For example, direct payment transfer to the vulnerable section of the society and hence increase their marginal propensity to consume. So in order to increase the aggregate demand in the society, the liquidity of the money has to be increased. This requires money in the hands of the consumer. Since the consumption in the economy is already low and would be low due to lack of money in the hands of the people, the government has to come up with plans that put money in the pockets of the people. So according to the aggregate demand equation, aggregate demand is equal to consumption, investment, government expenditure and net exports. Now these above variables needs to be focused since the international borders are almost closed and exports and imports will not be able to contribute as much in this situation. So the emphasis must be on the government expenditure side and the investment. Another way that has already been adopted by the RBI in this regard is the reduction of the policy repo rates, which will eventually increase the liquidity of money in the economy. It has decreased to 4.40 from 5.15% in March only. The marginal standing facility has also reduced to 4.65% from 5.40% as per the report of RBI March 2020. Based on the above analysis, it can be said that Indian economy would witness a decline in inflation accompanied by a recession in the short run. However, the long run scenario would totally depend on the period to which the lockdown persists and number of people affected by the coronavirus. Now, there are some other measures that have been taken for revival of the economy. The first is, as per the monetary policy report, easing of monetary liquidity and regulatory policies have been done by many central banks to support domestic demand. G7 and G20 finance ministers and central banks are using every policy tool available to deal with COVID-19. Then the recent announcement of the economic stimulus package by the finance minister of 20 lakh crore would stand on five pillars, namely economy, infrastructure, system, vibrant demography and demand. This will make India self-reliant in the world post-coronavirus. So at last, I would like to say that this study adds significantly to the literature, not only in the terms of COVID-19, but the inflation expectations in India. It shows the behavioral context of the individuals, households, professional forecasters in the time of pandemic like this. It explores the inflation in the economy both prior to and after the COVID-19 emerges in India and relates it with the inflation expectations data available till now. From my side, these are the references. And thank you. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any questions from the panel members?
Yeah, just one. This is Ankita. I wanted to ask if you have focused on inflation expectations in the long run as well, instead of taking it for 2-3 months after the lockdown.
No, actually the inflation expectations data that has been collected by RBI on quarterly basis is available till March 2020. So this is the limitation of the study because as of now it's not available for the time period more than that, and it would also not be available for like any time near soon because of the obvious reasons, because they collect these data, RBI collect these data through their RBI survey organizers from the respondents from 18 major cities and covering more than 6,000 households. So it would not be possible for them also to publish this new data like anytime near future.
Okay, thanks.
Um, Hi, this is Shahili. I just want to know what your opinion on this is. Do you think if there is no sufficient fiscal stimulus, we could land up in a situation of liquidity trap?
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Uh, am I audible now?
Yes, but
ma'am,
your
you're
voice.
audible. Your voice is breaking a little bit.
I can't help with the network connections, but
No problem, ma'am.
my question is, do you think, because when we talk of inflation, I mean, there can be supply side inflation as well as demand side inflation. So now what has happened is that at least in agriculture, we are in the middle of the harvest season, so there is supply as far as food is concerned, but it's not linked to the market. So, is there a possibility of landing up in a liquidity trap situation?
Ma'am, landing in a liquidity trap situation could happen, but since the economic stimulus have already been arrived in the economy, and the RBI and the central bank is coming out of with every possible policy tool that has been available with them. Like they have also reduced the policy repo rates, and they have also reduced the MSF, marginal standing facility. They are trying to increase the marginal propensity to consume of each and every consumer. So the liquidity trap would not happen in the short run, of course. That I think.
Okay. Okay, I get your point.
Thank you. So is there